Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 7, week 7, day 2. So of course today, main thing that we got going on is the Durgaroff, Durgaroff, let's go with that. The Durgaroff faction. But this one's pretty straightforward. The tank is pretty tanky. It barriers your entire team. It's almost like that one mythic that ended up coming out, except in many situations actually better than it. For every skull that explodes, it gains a barrier, which means if you explode 4 skulls, you will guarantee barrier your entire team, which makes a pure faction quite a bit easier if you're going to be going for it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just straight 500s, which I'm pretty sure it is. Actually, surprisingly not. Not as many people went for it, probably because we've been having so many events that require gems lately, but not quite. Looks like about like 50-ish people went for it or so. But anyways, so I'll be messing with that, getting almost the last of our crowns. We're so close, yet so far. Today we get the deed book. Tomorrow we get the pet max, even though I'm not going to bother maxing it. And then Thursday, we finally actually get to mess with King Hildore. Oh yeah, also that reminds me. Thursday, I almost forgot to mention this earlier this week, or actually I haven't mentioned it at all yet. But if I'm not mistaken, it's Thursday Game Awards, right? 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we're going to be an hour earlier because I actually do want to catch the Game Awards. We're not going to stream it or anything. Actually, I'm not even sure if you're allowed to, though I'm pretty sure some people still do. But we're going to have our Gems of War stream 1 hour earlier next Thursday because the Game Awards will be happening the exact time that our stream normally starts. So we're basically just going to do an hour earlier and then catch the Game Awards, see what's up with that. Probably nothing too interesting this year, but, you know, still want to go and catch what's going on with it, if nothing else, and kind of go from there. But yeah, King Hildore comes out that night, so we'll be doing that an hour earlier than normal that day. Overall, kind of average troop. His main gimmick is probably going to be used with Arachne Weaver. He ends up doing some true damage to the first enemy, moves them to the back, and then you can just Weaver them. That's its main synergy that's going to have. I don't really foresee many other situations where you're going to bother bringing this out. It also gets to create 3 elemental stars, which could be some decent mana accumulation. Only problem with this is it doesn't feed that well into something like a Weaver, though it does feed pretty well into itself, if nothing else. Though you still will be able to get at least some amount of green into it. It also gives a bunch of life to all elemental allies when matching browns, which is super double conditional, because not only do you have to specifically take brown, but your allies also have to be elemental, meaning that very few things are ever going to get hit by it other than himself, because even if you're using him in a pure elemental team, you're probably only going to have like 2 browns on that team, meaning that you're getting barely any benefit from his ability overall, because even if they meet the elemental condition, you still actually have to take the brown gems. Oh wait, never mind, sorry. The ally itself doesn't have to be brown, only elemental, but still, it's still a pretty weird double condition, because they have to be elemental, and you specifically have to be taking brown gems. So unless you're doing like a 4 times elemental team, which he might occasionally get used in, I just don't really foresee him being an elemental team kind of thing. There's a lot of mythics that just do elemental stuff better than him. He's mostly going to be used with true damage teams more so than elemental, oddly enough. Or at least I feel like he will. We'll find out on Thursday when we mess around with him some. Theoretically, we could get... Oh yeah, I forgot. We can't get it 1 day early. I was like, I might go do the 100 gems to get him a day early. But no, I can't. This purchase is unavailable, and there's no way we're spending 10 bucks for it, that's for sure. That's way too expensive. But, yeah, I forgot. We can't. No, they haven't fixed this. Patch. There better be a patch today. Also, it's not in the title yet, because I was hoping we would maybe get a patch tonight. However, I don't think we know. Yeah, I know. I won't forget the event potion. But let me go double check. There's a chance we get a patch tonight. Puzzle Quest 3 got a patch yesterday, or last night. So that's their other live service. So it's still in beta. But so there's a good chance that Gems of War gets it tonight. They've kind of been doing updates at about the same time. Though more realistically, it is next week's Tuesday. However, there is a small chance within like the next 5-10 minutes we get an update. If we don't see it within like the next like 10 minutes, it's probably happening next Tuesday. But there's a small chance it's happening today, so definitely keep an eye out for it. And do let me know. Though it's more likely going to be next week, so don't get your hopes up for tonight. But it's still a small chance. Anyways, though it probably would have happened by now if it was going to happen. But let's go and where should we even start? I almost want to go for the crowns first, to be honest. I don't know, we might go for the faction first. So Durgaroff's pretty kind of straightforward faction, mostly because you have to go all the way over here. Because obviously if you're doing quick kill, it's, you know, just 3 rooms, boom, 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 and you're good to go. But you're normally going all the way over here in order to get all the multiplier and then take out to the final room then. But anyways, as far as team, I believe we have access to Guard's Avatar. believe I showed it for one of these. I originally wasn't going to show it, and then it's like, I should probably use the one I'm going to use for copy-paste. So I did make sure to mention it. That's this one right here. We actually gain more of a benefit from having armor, oddly enough. So we will go all in on the guard's medal. It would make sense that guard medal works with guard troop itself. That would make a lot of logical sense. So let's just go and paste this in. Oh yeah, and before I forget, as was reminded, let's make sure to buy the enchant potion, because gosh, do I forget that so often. Right at the beginning. And there we go. All right, should be good to go. Oh wait, is our team already there? Oh, this is what I used last time. I just didn't use Abel Crystal. Oh no, I kind of still want Abel Crystal there. Boom, there we go. The updated version. But yeah, we were pretty much using the exact same thing. Cool. Anyways, let's get rolling. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope all you've been doing well. Hello Hong. Hello Mr. Hello Crisp. Hello Tyrian. Hello Daddy Shark. Hello Bill Warhammer. Hello Barbara. Hello Tony. Hello NASA. Hello Bear. Hello Isabel. Hello Gadget. Hello Defiant. Hello John. Hello Ricardo. Hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. You got it done in an hour and a half with all rewards. Nice. Did you do skip method? Well, I'd assume so. That has to be skip method. There's no way that wasn't skip method. But yeah, the 3 factions can go pretty quick. Like the 3-room factions. It is so good when they're around compared to like the 4 or 5-room ones. Because they can go pretty quick. Because that's 3 battles, what, 48 times? What is that? 147. 147 battles then. So yeah, it's definitely doable in an hour and a half. Because they take like less than a minute each. For the most part. Some of the later ones might start taking more, but obviously like the ones we're doing right now, they're taking like less than 30 seconds. Yeah, insta-kill Zugoff team would work pretty well. You have access to both Iron Gut and Zugoff. So pretty easy to insta-kill out the faction. If we have the better insta-kill options out there. Obviously for what we're going to be doing. We showed Gargoyle, or yeah, Gargoyle team for the cheaper team. But of course, we will be using Guard's Avatar for the lower level quick kill here. Or did I show Finesse for? I might have showed Finesse. The Gargoyle also works, and Finesse also works. There's a lot of things that work. But Guard's Avatar is basically the Rowan when you don't have access to Rowan, and its restriction is brown-purple, if I'm not mistaken. So unfortunately, we do not have access to Rowan. Though we do have access to things like Thrall, Leprechaun, Iron Gut, Zugoff. Quite a few decent options. Obviously, Guard's Avatar that we're using right now. Basically as an alternative Rowan. It's honestly, this mythic has been like kind of average priority to ever end up getting. But with how much I've been using it for factions, I feel like it might actually be a little bit higher than I give it credit for. It used to be like really high priority when it was the only mythic for White Helm. Because White Helm's still the best tribute kingdom in the entire game. That's still relevant to this day. However, he wasn't really used that much. But I feel like ever since Cirquet and Hadley came in about 2 years ago, the amount of time that you use Guard's Avatar actually increases quite a bit. Not for normal stuff like PvP or anything like that, but more so for factions, particularly brown factions, because whenever you have access to brown or yellow, you can end up running a Guard's Avatar, Cirquet, and Hadley combo for having one of either of those 2 colors, which makes it very often viable when you don't have access to Rowan or other similar options. Because we've been using them a lot the last like year or so. Mostly for factions. And by mostly for factions, I mean entirely and only for factions. But still, it's pretty helpful for when it does. A faction event's every Tuesday, so it does happen often enough that there's some value in getting it. Definitely not as much value as like a Fenicia that's available on Soulforge this week. But there's definitely value there. Oh, so hello Bear, can you make a huge lore video on the on gems, because I really want to know the game's lore. Honestly, I don't even feel like I fully know the game's lore, mostly because a lot of the quest lines I read ages upon ages ago. If I'm not mistaken, there is a resource on Gems Award database that has all the text in the entire game laid out. I believe it still has a feature for that, right? Pretty sure. I haven't used it for a while, but yeah, I'd have to reference that and reread through all of that. That's definitely quite the task. I do feel like we will do it at some point, though that some point is probably not soon. Because honestly, I even forget what most of the lore for the game is. But in all fairness, a lot of it I read like 6 years ago. So it would make sense I would kind of forget after that amount of time. Because the first 15 kingdoms were like 7 years ago when I read them all. Some of them I don't even think I bothered reading. Pictures as well. Well, we have all the graphics from the game, so we could. Also, I have all the old graphics too. I've saved like literally every graphic that the game has ever had. Pretty much. Like even like at the top of our normal videos, like when we do like a actually the one that we're streaming right now might have it too. But you know, like that blue background thing? That might seem like a weird thing to have. However, it's one of the old assets for the game that were actually replaced at some point. It's what I use for the for like the header wherever we have the title of the stream, or for the videos and stuff like that. Like that blue background used to be an asset within the game that was used quite frequently as well. However, in the current state of the game, it is non-existent because they overhauled the graphics for the game. They did the same thing for Puzzle Quest 3 the other day too. Which reminds me, most of those I didn't bother saving. I'm not sure if I should bother. Because Terran's World actually has a reference for all of them. It's kind of buried on their website, but it is there. A reflection of good. Oh yes, Interrogan. Oh gosh, I almost forgot about Interrogan. I don't feel like I've used him much since his release week, but gosh, is he still very broken. I'm still really curious if we're getting a balance patch in the next few weeks, if we're even getting one. What on earth happens to Interrogan? Because there's almost no way to keep him exactly as is. It's just one of those like ultra outliers where there's almost no way it stays as is. But you never know. There's been some things that somewhat seemed like that. Like Rogue Spider almost seemed like it was, or Night Spider, I mean. Like it's nearly seemed like it was going to get nerfed and then never did. Mostly because it's so specific you can only use it in like one really, really specific team. Though they nerfed Divines into the ground when there was one really, really specific team that was used like crazy. That's why Divines are like still not usable to this day. And also why Divine Ishbala is the only thing in the entire game that has a 40% start instead of a 50%. Which still makes no sense. I really hope they give her back her 50%. In the current state of the game, it would not be broken at all. Just seems kind of weird that she's the only one that isn't. Yeah, we had a small series on the channel where we were reading through some of the lore posts that they were doing. We made it look all nice and everything. I don't think I ever like finished that series. It had such a little interest. And there was also like so much editing for how little interest it had. Which is the biggest issue. Like each one of those videos took like 3 to 5 hours. And it got less views than if we just did like an hour stream. Like way less. Let's see. I'll take that one down. Get our AoE down there. That's the only problem with this layout, especially since we in the past would rush method it. It is so easy to want to click on that room when you have the whole bottom section to still do. Let's hello Logic Slayer, welcome, welcome. What dates are our trips planned? From the last Tuesday to the first Tuesday. Last Tuesday of this year until the first Tuesday of next year. So 1 week exactly. Though we might still be gone for like an extra day in either direction. Like I'm probably not doing a stream that Monday night before I go, which is the 27th. And I'm probably not doing a stream the day I'm getting back. Because it's going to be so late that it'd be way too rush. Because I'm not sure if I'm even getting back in time for 8. And even if I am, I'm probably going to be too worn out to bother. Let's see, we'll throw that down. So basically no night streams from the 27th until the 4th. And then we'll be back on the 5th. This is likely what's going to happen. Stop nerfing the fun things. They nerfed some of the fun things in Puzzle Quest 3 recently too. What's even worse is they didn't even post any of them in the patch notes. So I'm not even sure what the full list even is. Because they didn't post a full list. But they nerfed like one of the most overpowered rings in the game and a few other things. Hopefully Gems of War will see some kind of rebalance. Hopefully it's mostly buffs and not nerfs though. And hopefully they actually post a patch notes on it. Unlike Puzzle Quest 3 where they just like do an update. They do a patch notes but they say nothing about all the rebalance they did. They just did it without actually telling us what on earth all the things were. For some like Gems of War they should list it out though. I sure hope they would, gosh. Are we pre-making videos for the trip? Yes. There was actually something I was considering doing for it too. How to use various resources within the game. It's something I've been meaning to like recover again. That or the class tier list. Or both. There's enough time I'll be gone that we could technically do all of that. Though the trip does work kind of perfectly because we'll still be able to get all the Monday stuff out before we go. So the only thing we're missing is like one weekend event. And that one weekend event is, I think something irrelevant? I can't remember. Let me double check actually. Actually, I don't think we knew earlier. I think we need this update before we know. I think it's cut off like exactly where I needed the info. But we'll know as soon as we get an update next week or today if it happens to be today. But although at this point, if they didn't do it by now, they're probably not doing an update. So it's probably next week's Tuesday. I'm looking for weekly event spoilers. If I'm not mistaken, it cuts off literally the exact day when I need to know what it is. Oh no, it actually goes far enough now. So we are missing a... What am I missing? Oh yeah, I'm just missing a raid event. That's fine. We're missing nothing relevant. Perfect. Yep, we're missing some useless raid event. Which plays like the invasion event we had this weekend, except probably some other weapon. Well, obviously some other weapon. We're getting some undead explodey weapon this weekend. Yeah, that's a perfect event to miss. Nothing too important going on. Yeah, I'm definitely considering doing at least a class tier list. It's something I've been meaning to cover for ages. And we actually covered a tier list last New Year's as well. Though it was a tier list for all the mythics in the game. But this year we'll probably do the mythic, tier list for the classes. Because now there's another one. And we're probably not getting any more for quite some time. Also, it'd be after whatever rebalance they're about to do in a few weeks. Which is perfect because then we'll actually know. And it'll be up to date to that rebalance as well. That's assuming there is one. There's no guarantee we're actually getting a rebalance in the next couple weeks for various things, but they should. I don't see why they wouldn't. Time will tell. It's probably not going to be directly in the next patch, but like a few days to a week after the patch. That's kind of like what they did last time around. What restaurant will the fan meetup be? Not even sure if I'll have time to. But that would be kind of funny. Because I'm not going to be down for that long. What are the top 5 classes? I'd probably say Archmagus, Elementalist, Frostmage, Titan, and Thief. Though there's a lot that can be considered. Like, you almost need a top 10. Like, they're starting to become enough that there's almost not a top 5 anymore. Because a lot of the ones that are, like, in top 10 are in the top 10 because they do something unique. that's different from the other ones there. And enough of an angle that's worth using. Because theoretically, in most situations, Frost Mage is weaker than Elementalist now. But there are still situations where Elementalist is better than... where Frost Mage is better than Elementalist. And something like Titan is really well-rounded for Barrier, but there's still instances where other Barrier on Brown are way better than it. Worst hero classes are definitely things like Thief. Slightly less so Warden. Warden was like almost in my worst before. But there are some weird things Warden can do that makes it kind of middle range. Like middle range, lower middle range. But, Knight class and Diabolist, I believe, are the weakest two. Diabolist has like a force weird summon that makes it weaker. You missed the crown yesterday. Oh no! Yeah, I haven't missed one yet. I have a feeling I will eventually. So it doesn't matter too much though. Though that does theoretically mean if you do absolutely everything and you did the paid side, you would get one less orb. That's not that big a deal. It's only one orb. Fault events can farm like 1 billion of them. Yeah, we still need a War Gear class and a Construct class. I believe those are the only 2 that we're missing, unless I'm forgetting any. Not counting all the weird ones like Gnome, Tower, Boss, stuff like that. As far as like core typings within the game, I'm pretty sure War Gear and Construct are the only 2 that are missing. Which means we might be getting a pure War Gear Kingdom at some point. Which is kind of weird because Magrim Woods kind of already is. But for whatever reason, the hero class counts as a beast. What is the crown level supposed to be? If you have literally every crown up to this point, your crown level should be at one of 2 values, assuming you didn't buy any extra. And you've gotten all of them. It is either at 45 if you've done none today, or 47 if you've done everything today. Is where it would be at. Though you still have plenty of time. The earliest you would get it done, if you were doing just the normal amount and you've done all of them, would be this Thursday. Though you still have 12 days, 5 hours, and 32 minutes, which means 12 more days of 120 crowns. So as long as you are at 38 or higher right now, you wouldn't need any extra to get the entirety of the event done. As long as you're... Wait, never mind. It's actually even further back than that, right? No. Wait, 12 days? Yeah, 12 more days of rewards. That's 120 crowns. Oh, wait, every single one of these is 5, though. Hold up. Oh, wait, really? Okay, so... That's 120 crowns. It's 24 tiers. My bad. So that means you would actually... Really? If your number says at least 21... Wait, did I do the math right? No, that's 24 thingies. Yeah, so whatever that is minus 24. No. It would have to be 50 minus... Sorry, 26. Duh. So if you're at least at 26, if you get every crown here 4th, as long as you're at 26 or higher, ideally higher than that, but if you're at minimum 26, you actually have enough to still get everything. Even if you were only at 26 right now. That's the lowest you could be at to still be able to get everything at this point. Without having to spend gems, which currently still does not work. And orb money. But yeah, as long as you're at 26 right now, you could actually still get it done if you got every crown here 4th. So if you're above 26, you're pretty much good to go. Just don't miss any more crowns. Anyways. Let's keep going. But yeah, it has a lot of leeway. Like, even if you miss some crowns, you're probably still at like a 40-something right now. Or a high 30-something. Which is way far enough to still get it done easily. Was King Hildore in the event key drop table? No. King Hildore is not in drop table. There are 8 of them that aren't. The 4 faction troops, King Hildore, the mermaid thing, the lion thing, and the lovers. Those 8 are not in event key drop table, and nor have they ever been, nor will they be until after the event. Not even in 2 weeks from now, I'm pretty sure they still won't be. Which is the final week of the campaign. So once we finish this out, we'll go hand it the code. Now we gotta go hunt for those crowns. Those elusive crowns, they're out there somewhere. Unfortunately, this doesn't give crowns. I wish it did. It's a little bit weird. They're only in PvP and Explore. It would be nice if they were in a slightly wider variety. Like, I don't even think they're in Daily Adventure Board. Like, they're not even in all locations where gnomes normally appear. Just PvP and Explore specifically. You bought 1 Kingdom Pass. You're able to get all 55 rewards. Well, yeah, you don't need to multi-buy it. The way that the extended rewards seem to work, based on what I understand, though I haven't reached it yet, so I cannot confirm. But based on what I've heard so far, essentially, once you reach it, you get to keep repeating those last 5 rewards over and over again. You know, by the last 5, I mean 51 to 55. Those 5. So basically, you keep cycling between, like, a bunch of gem keys and, like, an orb and a few other stuff. And you would actually cycle through it, what, 4 times? Yeah, you would cycle through it 4 times if you did literally all crowns. You would be able to get 4 orbs, 8 gem keys, enough basically for an Orpheus medal, and 4 Vault keys is the total amount of reward if you miss no crowns. The free side isn't allowed to do that, though. Though if nothing else, that does mean you have like 10 days where you don't have to do anything for it, which is nice. So you don't have to go out of your way for free to play once you have all the 50 done. Puzzle Quest 3 question. Will you be reworking the kingdom requirements? Oh yeah, I mentioned in the chat for the guild there. But yeah, we're likely increasing it to 600 next week instead of 400, since they're now infinitely farmable in Puzzle Quest 3. Just the daily system alone almost does that anyways. Like someone in chat posted they got like 106 off their daily system, which if you did that for 7 days is over 700. But I think 600 is pretty fair. Because even if you only do partial of the daily system, that's basically just the daily system plus like maybe a little few extra battles. It's basically what people were already doing. Just adjusted for the current rates of accumulation. How are you planning on countering Elementalists class during Guild War? I have no clue. That's a good question. I have not the slightest clue. Because you know people are going to run it with immune to stun, so you can't stun it. You could always rope dart it if they accidentally use it on like blue or yellow day. Like there's ways to counter it. But it's definitely going to be kind of annoying. Because if they run a double in power, like there's almost nothing you can do about it. No, you can't even run cleanse medals. When you get stunned, cleanse medals have a 0% chance of triggering. This is applicable to all medals, however there's only one medal that has an active ability, and that's the cleansing one, rather ironically. So what ends up happening is you actually don't get your cleanse anymore, because while you're stunned, your medals do not trigger. This isn't relevant for most of them, because most of them trigger at the start of battle, so you can't deny it with a stun. However, Orpheus medal is blocked with a stun, which means it'll do literally nothing against Elementalist. Also, Elementalist doesn't really do too much for your casting, if nothing else. Those freeze can somewhat be annoying. Like, if you're not really using skulls, it's not too big a deal. Like, it's a lot of disable. A lot of that disable isn't necessarily going to hinder you a lot. Like, there's ways to break through that much hindrance. As long as you're not doing a skull spam team, and as long as you're not doing extra turn spam team. Which in all fairness is like almost all the teams in existence. But, like, there's still ways to work around an Elementalist. It's just gonna be really annoying to do so. Also, we gotta hope that they don't have immune to stun. Because if they don't have level 100, or if they're using a magic bonus instead, which is not advised for Guild Wars, the stun immune's better. Even though I haven't really been using the stun immune on it. But when in the Guild War context, you definitely need to. But if they happen to not have it, we can just stun them, which also works pretty well. I'm not sure if Beatrix will be the way to go. I almost want to use that one almost useless mythic that has Impervious with Cleanse. You can only use that on 3 different Guild War days. I believe it's yellow, purple, and something else. And blue-green, you could just do Rope Dart and be perfectly fine. It's the other colors that are concerning, like red. Like, I'm not sure what you would do against Elementals on red. But then again, Zugoff build kind of works. The only problem is, the way I normally use Zugoff, I believe I have like a cleanse first slaughter, but you can't get cleanse if you're stunned. Or, you know, off of the trait that it has. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do in that regard. Because Red Day is definitely going to be probably the hardest day to deal with Elementals, I would say. If nothing else, at least Zugoff, if you get it quick enough, just insta-kills the Elementalist, so maybe that's what we have to bank on. Just hope it dies immediately. Because it doesn't have stealthy. It's a hero class that has no stealthy, so you can just target it directly, assuming you get it up quick enough. Which seems like the best way to go about it. Is like run double empower yourself and just hope you go before they do. Well, obviously your turn goes before them, but you know what I mean. Like actually get alignment before the enemy does. Because Elementalist doing a double empower into like 3-4 extra turns, you're basically just dead if that situation happens. It's not guaranteed, but you're probably dead in that Guild War situation. Alright, speaking of dead, boom. Oh, okay, apparently not. Never mind. There we go. And that's match. And I believe that's all the points too, based on what we saw there earlier. It is not, actually. One more. And then that will be enough. Then we'll go hand out a code. And I'll probably do a bit of crown farming. And by a bit, I mean the exact amount we need. So I'm hoping next week we could do something with the lovers. It's probably locked behind next Monday needing to occur. I sure hope we get an immediate use for it, unlike the other thing. Obviously, we're not going to get a use for it on Thursday, but, you know, by immediate use, I mean next Monday. Anyways, I'll switch over to Magic. Let's go hand out a code, and then clear through all the other dailies. And then we'll probably mess with the World event until we run out of sigils. World event's kind of annoying this week. Though we're still at the earlier end, so it's not too bad yet. Luckily. If I could just find where the code section is. There it is. Do you get points deducted for insta-kills? In Guild Wars, yes. For whatever reason, insta-kill counts as a weird number of damage that isn't whatever damage you just did. Same as Devour. It's not that big a deal for the most part. But theoretically, with how Guild War counts damage, it does not count it for like the actual amount of damage that you're doing. But there you guys go. There's the redeem code used on jumpswar.com. Underneath the game code section, your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever game says right over there is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code's right over there in chat. It's copy paste random numbers in there, start with 9E. And it gives the same order as always. True treasure maps, 200 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps out a lot and is greatly, greatly appreciated. And there you guys go. Enjoy. And of course, it's only usable on the PC mobile version of the game. Alright, so next order of business. Let's go grinding a bit. So we do have some nice, juicy Imperials here today. So let's go pick those up right now. Then clear through any dungeons. And then we'll do a little bit of crown farming. And then probably end of that World event. Yeah, no problem for the code, everyone. Enjoy. If anyone's listening on the questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. Also, just as a reminder, our stream for Thursday night will be 1 hour earlier than normal due to the Game Awards being the exact same time that we normally stream. So we're going to be doing that a little bit earlier. We're also going to be going with a new legend that day. because that is the first possible day where you could have it, assuming you didn't buy any extra tiers and you've gotten every crown up to that point. Or if you even just miss less than 5, you still get it on that exact day as well. Good old Fenicia. Also, Fenicia is in Soulforge this week, by the way. I'll probably mention it like almost every single day. It's decently relevant. It's not like a super high priority pickup, but it's still meta somehow. I'm still not sure how something better hasn't come into the game than her, but as it currently stands, for what the role she does do it better than anything else if she could stop dying. There we go. Getting transformed into a succubus or into a incubus, whatever it is. Is a something bus. It has the word bus somewhere in its name. Anyways, actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna grab the pet food. I don't feel like we need it in the current state of the game, but the fact that I haven't been farming as much lately kind of makes me want to pick up some. Yeah, the only 2 tarot cards that currently do not have a purpose are the Star and the Lovers. The Star, I believe, was from the previous season. It was also in the Soulforge for a couple weeks there, or for a week, whatever it was. And the other one is the Lovers, which theoretically comes out this week, technically. However, it probably won't get a purpose until next Monday or sometime like ages from now. But hopefully next week's Monday we'll end up having it, because it's the last week of the campaign. So it makes sense that for the last week of the campaign it would get a feature. Kind of like how they normally do it for tarot cards during a other events. You know, when we have a world event. Or not a world event, I mean a world lore event. Whenever we have those, on the very last week of the campaign is normally when the tarot card gets used. Not always, but that's generally when it happens, if it's going to happen. And I'm hoping the same thing occurs for how the Kingdom Pass works, where the Lovers will end up getting it on the very final week, and the very final week is next Monday. So if the Lovers is going to be getting a use anytime soon, it is probably next Monday. Even though this Monday was when it technically was available. Anyways, so let's go get those crowns. Actually, did I do dungeons yet? No, let me clear our dungeons first. Then we'll go farm our 10 crowns. And I'll probably end it with World Event. Which I believe we have like 6 to 8 battles for. Because we did most of it last night, if not all of it. It's annoying, but pretty straightforward if nothing else. You just skull spam them until they die. It's just really annoying that we don't have spell damage, especially for Mystics. Mystic is generally a type you'd want to have spell damage for. But we don't have access for it, unfortunately. They always do some really weird teams for the World event. Like last week we had like super easy, it was like Blue Elemental. And Blue Elemental is probably one of the easiest we've ever had. And then they do like something like this week where it's just super annoying. Because we have to do skulls with Mystics. Plus, isn't it color restricted too? Or is it just Skull Mystic? I mean, it might just be Skull Mystic with any color. But anyways, so we did that, This is what this restriction is, right? I don't think it was color restricted. It was the Skull Mystic. Yeah, the Skull Mystic. Still annoying though. Anyways, let's go and farm the crowns then. Let's go do some standard Cinemirage. There are several locations you could do this in for quick kill. I just like doing Cinemirage. Has one of the lowest stats of any kingdom, which is why we normally do it here. Also doesn't have any kind of like annoying mechanic for the most part. I'm looking for where on earth my numbers are. Why can't I find my numbers? Did I rename it Gnome Grinder? No, it's still numbers. I like how ever since I renamed it to a bunch of numbers, like prior I was like kept clicking on the one that was numbers. And then when I made it all numbers, I never click on the one that is all numbers. Keeps hiding from me. Maybe we should color coordinate it. Because we definitely use this one a lot, like the Fenicia team. This is one of those that needs color coordination or we will keep losing track of where on earth it is. I found one. Also, we'll own you in 2 more days. Soon, TM. Actually, that's almost like 1 day from now. In like 1 day and some amount of hours. Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys interested in the Game Awards? Hyped for anything? I'm not even sure what even got nominated. I don't feel like there was that many good games this year. Like, what's the best game of this year? Let's see. Out of what I played, what would I say is my favorite? Let's see. Though we did a lot of, like, roguelike deck builders this year. Or similar kind of mechanics. I haven't played that many new games this year, though. Like, it's a really small number. Yeah, this year was kind of dull. Also, even for Nintendo, like, what did Nintendo do this year that was, like, interesting? Like, they did the Mario Party, which I love, but, you know, that's, like, never anything that's gonna be, like, super mainstream big. They did the Metroid thing, but that doesn't really appeal to me that much. Yeah, there wasn't really a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm normally the most hyped for. What on earth the game announcements are going to be. Game announcements weren't too good last year, though. Like, what? There was Loop Hero, which was, like, super meh. I didn't even bother getting into it. It seemed way overhyped for how basic the game was. I still don't understand the appeal of the game to this day. Which is weird, because it's a genre that I actually kind of enjoy. But the game itself just... I don't know. There's just something about it that just does not seem that appealing. They were essentially Age of Ashes, which didn't end up releasing till literally like a few days ago. Like one whole year later, even though it was supposed to release in like a month or two after the thing, or a few months. Ended up getting delayed so much that it was basically a whole year later. I wonder if they're going to take out another ad for this one, now that it's actually out. I haven't been playing it though. Still seems to have quite a few problems from the beta that they never bothered fixing. Trying to think of what else. I don't know. This year was kind of dull for gaming, as far as new stuff. Next year's starting strong, though. We're going to be playing Scrabble, the RPG deck builder. Words can kill. He never gave an official date when in January, but it is like a solo dev making that Scramble game, and we're definitely going to be playing it a bunch when it releases. This seems like so much fun. We played the demo the other week, or the other weekend, I should say. I think on Saturday. But it's pretty solid for a single developer. I don't feel like we'll be able to get like an infinite amount of time in that game. But there's definitely like a few really solid dozens of hours in it. Apex Legends came out this year? I thought that game has been out for years. Or am I thinking of a different game? Hasn't Apex Legends been out for like 3-4 years now? Or am I thinking of a completely different game that isn't that? Oh no, every shooter is the same to me. There's like 24 different names for like the exact same game. In my eyes. So maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Yeah, that's what I thought. Apex Legends has been out for at least a couple years. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I was gonna say, because there's no way it hasn't been out for like 3-4 years already. Yeah, that's what I thought with Bug Fables too. Like when Bug Fables came out on Switch, it's like, oh, I thought this was like the actual official release, but it actually released like 6 months prior. That was from like 2 years ago though. So we're getting a really decent chain on crowns. We might actually almost be done already. Let's see. We are. I literally just need one more. Oh no. The final one. The elusive final crown. I want to see us get the final crown on first battle at least once. That was not it, unfortunately. Has anyone actually gotten that yet? 10th crown in one try? I have not seen it be anything less than like 20 or 30. And I've seen it be as high as almost 100. Or at least a big enough number that I started to lose track. Hopefully this one doesn't take like 15 minutes. Shouldn't. But you never know sometimes with these things. I do wish they would tweak its rate just a little bit. Because the last one definitely seems like artificially hard to get compared to the rest. Level 98 on Corsair, nice. I don't feel like I use Corsair too often, but it's not bad. It's a +3 blue. The main reason why Archmagus is like 1,000 times better is it's +3, but also has half mana start naturally. If Corsair also had half mana start naturally, it would be used so much. But purple's also used for an overall better weapons, like Black Manacles and stuff. Mirror of Reflection. And several others. Whereas blue isn't as useful. There's some like really good mana accumulating weapons. There's like Dawnbringer Stone and stuff like that. But purple's definitely stronger. Like even if they were both a half mana start with +3, I'm pretty sure Archmagus would still be better. However, Corsair doesn't have a half mana start, at least not naturally anyways. You have to use it with a rogue, and at that point you might as well just not even use it. Is it just me, or did anyone else get shorted 3 stars on this campaign? Oh no, it's still been down from yesterday, or last week. It's been an issue. They sent out 2 mails for it for compensation as well. They sent 50 gems twice. They were supposed to fix it this week, though still didn't. I assume it'll be fixed by next patch, which should be next week's Tuesday. But so hopefully by next week it should be fixed. But yeah, everyone should be exactly 3 stars short on campaign. It's something they're still looking into fixing. The main thing that broke it was that one Nexus event. Because the way they have it set up is to work only if a kingdom actually has all of its aspects. And because there was like a weird double faction happening that week, and it just kind of got confused. It got confused the first time as well, but it didn't actually like miss any tasks. But this time it got confused and missed a task. But yeah, it's not just you. It should be fixed next week. The only problem with that is everyone's like 1 reward short up until that point. At some time before the end of the campaign, it's definitely going to get fixed. And we should be getting a patch in the next week or 2. There's a chance it was going to be today, but at this point it seems like it's not happening. If it didn't happen by like this time yet, like normally it happens like a little after 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. So if it hasn't happened by now, it's not happening today. So our next most likely date is the 14th. So expect the 14th a patch. It's not confirmed, but it is super exceedingly likely that Tuesday of next week, 1 week from today, is a patch. What exactly that patch is going to do, who knows, but there should be a patch then. Also, if they're doing any kind of winter event, that should also be when the winter event gets activated as well. Or at least a patch to set it forward. Also, have we still not gotten that crown, or have I just not noticed? Because we're starting to get into unlucky category territory if we still haven't gotten it yet. That is quite unfortunate. I assume we haven't, I just haven't noticed. No, we have not. Oh no. It has begun. Oh no. That's not good. We might be here a while. The saga of the final crown. But yeah, they need to do something to address this. Like the first 9 like don't matter at all. Like the way that they drop is like perfectly fine. But this 10th one seems like artificially insane to get sometimes. Like, the 9th one never feels like this. It's never this hard to get the 9th. And then the 10th comes along, and while it's not always absurdly hard, like, you legitimately go like 10, 20 minutes sometimes. And it just does not want to drop. We've had many times where the final crown has taken us more than the other 9 combined. And this might be one of those times. But hopefully the next time they have the event, they adjust it some. At least they adjusted it compared to how it was on the very first day. Because that very first day was extremely punishing for it. I think it took like an hour or half an hour to an hour to get it done. But now on average it's like 10 to 20 minutes or so. Unless the last one takes you that long. In which case it's 10 to 20 minutes plus the final amount of time to get the final one. However long on earth that takes. He's out there somewheres. At least we get a deed book after today, if nothing else. We could technically go upgrade a new kingdom using the 2 deed books if we really want to. Hey, took long enough. Got him. Alright, now that we have the book, we now have 2 deed books from the event, as well as whatever Imperial. I think I want to give like 1 or 2. It's kind of weird. I think I only gives 1 Imperial. You get 2 deed books, which is kind of a weird combination. Because you kind of need more Imperials than you need deed books, but deed book's always good. I don't think there was any deed book on free side though, unfortunately. I don't think there was any Imperial or deed book on free. There was like a few smaller deeds, but never the deed book or the other thing. Also some writs, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish they would have gave some to the free side. Oh no, never mind. There was an Imperial on free side, my bad. But there wasn't any deed books on free side. Would have been nice if it was like 2 or 2, or 1 on the paid side, 1 on the free side. Kind of unfortunate both of them are on the paid side only. But anyways, we got our book. And tomorrow we get the max pet, even though I'm not going to max it. And then most importantly, the final day, we actually get 2 things. The free decide weapon, which is the Tide's Lash. Which is kind of like Rope Dart if Rope Dart was bad. It's basically Rope Dart if Rope Dart didn't have extra turn. Which makes it extremely bad. Like, all this needed to be the new Rope Dart is just give it auto extra turn. And then instead of having Entangle, it would just have split damage. Which is situationally better, situationally worse. But the fact that this doesn't have auto extra turn just makes this a definitive worse Rope Dart that you're never going to use ever. Which is kind of unfortunate because it had the potential to be an alternative Rope Dart. And then they made it just a useless weapon, at least comparatively to Rope Dart. Which is unfortunate. I wish it was actually useful. Though in all fairness, it is technically better than the one we got on paid side. Which is basically just like, what, a 4-time stun scythe thing? That doesn't even do damage. It's like so bad. So at least it's better than the one on paid side, wherever it is. I cannot find it. But, yeah, it's just like a 4-time stun with no damage. Whereas this is at least kind of okay. It's just kind of disappointing it doesn't have auto extra turn. Who knows? Maybe they updated it since then. Because I looked at it a while ago, but I'm pretty sure it still doesn't. And then, of course, we also get the legend that day. Though he's not going to be in drop table, but you do get a copy of him. Which does mean you're going to need a small blue to max him. That's not too bad. Small blue is pretty cheap. Plus, you might get it off the thingy over here anyways. Anyways, so we did that. I guess we'll go end it with some world event then. And just clean up that. Whatever last kills we need there. Assuming my guild hasn't already done it by now. I'm pretty sure they haven't. Nope, not quite. Actually, we still got a ways to go. So let's keep going. Nocturne, yeah. And we're still using this team with the Doom weapon. The Rope Dart without the rope-a-dope. It's basically Rope Dart if Rope Dart was bad. Like, if they wanted to, like, over-nerf Rope Dart into the ground, that's like what the new weapon we're getting in, like, 3 days is. The one on the free side. Oh, it's still better than the one that was on the paid side. But that's basically what the weapon is. It's like Rope Dart if it was nerfed into the ground to be completely useless. Is essentially what that weapon is. But it's better than them actually nerfing Rope Dart, if nothing else. Instead, they just added the nerfed version as its own independent weapon. Which is a weird way of doing it, but I'll take it. Instead of nerfing Rope Dart, they just added the weapon in a nerfed state as its own independent weapon. Let's see. I need brown. Are you talking to over or under? What do you mean? For the 3 stars? It should be under, not over. What, did I say over on accident? Wait, we should be 3 stars short, not 3 stars over. Or 3 stars, I mean. Took you a full hour to get the last one today? Ouch. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Also, hello, B-Dub, welcome. Also, hello, Madman Babu. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we got a Valraven. That definitely needs to die. We have alignment. That's not alignment. Never mind. I lied. My eyes have deceived me. How could you? We win? Yeah, we won. It's over. That is super dead. Yeah, I do hope there are adjustments to the Kingdom Pass next time around. Overall, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Though, it's still not as good as when Kingdom Events used to be. Like, if Kingdom Events used to be so much better. And now they're, like, paywalling it and time gating it and, like, doing a billion other things with it. Because before, when Kingdoms used to come out, while we didn't have, like, all this faction or heroes class stuff or anything like that at the time, or at least not to the degree we have now, it was nice because at least all the troops you pretty much got immediately. Like, you would have an event for it the following week, and then you just throw a bunch of event keys on it, and boom, you're good to go. Now it's, like, spread out over the course of, like, 5 weeks. Whereas before, pretty much everything would happen within about a week or two before. Mostly within the first, like, 3 days. Like, it would come out on Friday. The event would be the following Monday. Within that 3-day time span, you'd basically have the entire kingdom accessible between everything. But at the time, you didn't have to worry about, like, faction or new hero class or stuff like that. But still, within, like, 3 days, you basically got the entirety of the kingdom. Whereas now they spread it across 5 weeks. Plus, they money gate some of it. Though you're still going to be able to get all the stuff that was hidden behind money. It's just going to take, like, months from now. What do we even grab here? Which is one thing I do like about Gems of War, even though they have gotten money hungrier, is it's still available free to play. Like, you might have to wait longer, sometimes a lot longer, but you do eventually get access to it free to play without needing to spend money. There are very few things where that has not happened for, mostly those weird weapons. There's like one weapon per kingdom that's money gated for whatever reason. Which is kind of unfortunate, because that in accumulation is over, like, what, $160? Which is an absurd amount of money. But for just, like, those weapons, so they're all, like, F-tier weapons for the most part. Hot buttered popcorn? That's all I saw in chat, was just those 3 words. My eyes just went straight for the food. But I'm actually not that hungry right now. I ate quite a bit earlier today. Let's see. I don't like any of our options, so I'm just going to cast one and hope it has follow-up. I'm not even going to check. I'm just going to assume. Which is a really bad idea to do. Though we have enough scaling right now, that doesn't really matter. Like, he'll die to, like, anything. Oh, no! No, now he won't. Scratch that. We actually have to pay attention now. He can actually wipe our entire team if he gets lucky enough. Would that be funny if he devoured our entire team? Luckily, I won't give him the chance. Though I almost wanted to just to see if he would do it. Because you know, if we let him, after that one devour, he would just devour us at 100% rate for the next 3 casts. But he actually could have killed us. If he devoured at 100% rate every cast he did off his 20% chance, we would have died. If we did not kill him right there. Luckily, that did not happen. Anyways. That was almost really bad. There we go. And unfortunately, all we have left are Darksmiths, which means we'll just keep spamming the same location over and over again. And that's the room you really want to avoid. Yeah, as long as you don't do Darksmiths. That's all you really have to do for the world event. Pretty straightforward world event, at least, if nothing else. Anyways. I think that'll wrap it up for tonight. We will be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Just as a reminder, Thursday, we will be an hour earlier than normal. So like 2 hours prior to now on Thursday. Because the Game Awards is happening when we normally do our stream. So we'll be doing our stream just slightly before then in order to cover the new legend, of course. We're getting a new legend that day, or specifically off the pass. So I'll be messing with him and seeing what he can do, testing with Weaver, doing everything else for the day, and going from there. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Game Awards. Obviously, I won't be streaming during then. We'll be streaming right before then. And we'll go from there. As far as midday streams, I'm probably not going to have any midday streams this week. Or at least Wednesday, Thursday, I should say, in that regard. Mostly because there's some people working on the roof. They're back again to do that. And they're going to be, like, exceedingly noisy. And I know last time, like, it was pretty bad. And it's going to be, like, even worse than that. So we're probably not going to be streaming these next 2 days, as they will be too loud for me to bother. But we should hopefully be back on Friday, most likely, doing something. Actually, what even is the Friday event for this game these days? Oh yeah, we have an invasion event. We might do that during the day. I might just save that for the nighttime, though. Actually, I can't remember if they're still doing on Friday. I know they were doing on Wednesday, Thursday. I can't remember if they have to come back on Friday. I think they were only if they still had work to do. So I don't know until they actually, you know, do more work. But, and I'll let you guys know. But regardless, we'll still have our nightly streams and go from there. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Wonderful holidays if you're celebrating any, and I'll catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching as always. Catch you guys soon.